Euphrates River has been drying up for years. However, since 2020, the decreasing of the water flow is very alarming. Downstream in Iraq, 7 million people risk losing access to water. With the drying up of Euphrates River, many peoples are wondering if this is linked to biblical prophecy.
If there's one river on our planet that has etched its tale into the annals of history, it's none other than the mighty Euphrates River. This ancient watercourse has witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations for millennia, nurturing the growth of some of our earliest human societies. Today, it remains a lifeline for the nations that call its banks home. Yet in recent times, an eerie phenomenon has gripped this once majestic river. It's slowly but steadily drying up, revealing long-buried secrets in its parched embrace. And now brace yourselves, because the renowned Michio Kaku has made an astonishing revelation about this mighty river. What is the astounding truth he's brought to light regarding the enigmatic Euphrates? Could it be connected to the prophecies of old? Join us in today's video as we uncover Michio Kaku's spine-tingling revelation about the fate of the Euphrates River. The vanishing act of the Euphrates River has taken the world by surprise, and it's a disappearing act unlike any other. Given the sheer size and age of this majestic watercourse, the notion of it dwindling away to its present pitiable state was simply inconceivable. Back in the day, the Euphrates was so prominent that even astronauts in space could cast their gaze upon it. But fast forward to today, and all that remains of this once thriving river is a barren, parched landscape. In its heyday, the Euphrates was the unrivaled monarch of the Southwest Asian rivers. When it flowed at its fullest, it was a lifeline, not just for the people who called its banks home, but for the countless plants and creatures that thrived in its embrace. Without this river, the illustrious ancient civilizations we now marvel at might have faded into obscurity. Legendary empires like Babylon and Mesopotamia owed their prosperity to this flowing giant. The river takes its first breath amidst the lofty heights of Armenia, nestled in northeastern Turkey, some 3,000 meters above sea level. From this pristine source, it embarks on its downstream odyssey through Syria and Iraq. Along its journey, the Euphrates receives a hearty infusion from the Karasu and Murat rivers, tributaries that join forces to transform it into an even more formidable force of nature. But the Euphrates wasn't merely celebrated for its sheer size or impressive length. It was venerated for the priceless cultural heritage it carried within its waters, a legacy that spanned thousands of years in service to humankind. As it meandered through the landscapes of Syria and Iraq, it breathed life into fertile valleys and sustained entire communities. This ancient river is estimated to be at least 10,000 years old, and some historical texts, including the Christian Bible, paint it as even older, identifying it as one of the 4 rivers that once flowed through the Garden of Eden, where the story of creation unfolded. What's more, discoveries of ancient stone artifacts and the remnants of Homo erectus species hint at a history for this river stretching back a mind-boggling 450,000 years or more. The river, nourishing the lands it flowed through, formed the historic Fertile Crescent, a bustling center of human civilization. Its abundant waters were the catalyst for agriculture, allowing the cultivation of diverse crops that fueled the prosperity of civilizations along its banks. This river is believed to be the birthplace of agriculture, the place from which this fundamental practice spread across the world, all thanks to the Euphrates. Numerous magnificent cities and empires, some of whose remnants remain today, flourished along its banks. However, despite its historical significance, the Euphrates River has faced a sudden and troubling decline. While supernatural explanations might come to mind for the river's disappearance, it is primarily due to human activities. Turkey, Syria, and Iraq heavily depend on the Euphrates for their economies, relying on its resources for hydroelectric power, irrigation water, and agricultural support. However, disputes over control and utilization of the river's waters have created tensions among these nations. Turkey, with the greatest influence over the river's flow, has played a pivotal role. Following World War I, treaties were established among these riparian states to ensure equitable utilization of the river's resources, including any future dam projects. Unfortunately, greed and corruption seem to have eroded these agreements, leading to the river's decline. The Euphrates, once a symbol of life and fertility, now reflects the destructive side of humanity. In the 1970s, Turkey initiated the Southeastern Anatolia Project, GAP, an ambitious plan aimed at harnessing the waters of the Tigris and Euphrates for irrigation, hydroelectricity, and economic development in its southeastern regions. Turkey and Syria swiftly completed the construction of their initial dams, Kaban and Tabqa, and began filling their reservoirs in 1975. Concurrently, a severe drought hit the region, causing a substantial reduction in the river's flow toward Iraq, declining from 15.3 cubic kilometers in 1973 to 9.4 cubic kilometers in 1975. This situation sparked an international crisis, with Iraq even issuing threats against the Tabqa Dam. Saudi Arabia and the Soviet Union intervened, ultimately leading to negotiations and an agreement between Syria and Iraq. The construction of dams and irrigation projects along the Euphrates has profoundly affected both the ecology and society of the riparian countries. As part of the Southeastern Anatolia project, dams in the Euphrates and Tigris river basins have resulted in the displacement of millions of people. However, in a surprising turn of events, Michio Kaku, the famed physicist and futurist, has sounded the alarm bells about the Euphrates River's dire condition. According to Kaku, the flow of water from Turkey into Syrian territory has now dwindled to a mere trickle, clocking in at less than 200 cubic meters per second. To put that into perspective, it's less than half of what both countries had agreed upon back in 1987. To drive his point home, Kaku took to Twitter and shared some jaw-dropping photographs. These images revealed something that would have been unthinkable in the river's heyday. Vast stretches of its once teeming riverbed now laid bare, transformed into desolate, sun-scorched desert expanses. One of the starkest pictures came from the Rojava Dam, Tishrin, the second largest dam along the Euphrates River in Syria. It left no room for doubt. The river's water volume had seen a dramatic nosedive. And here's the twist in the tale. Turkey, which effectively holds the river's faucet, has played a masterstroke by manipulating its flow to put pressure on Syria. You see, according to that 1987 agreement between the two nations, Turkey should have been supplying Syria with a steady stream of 500 cubic meters of water per second. But instead, they've slashed that flow to a mere 200 cubic meters per second, throwing the agreement right out the window. Now, you might be thinking, so what? It's just water, right? Well, the impact of this water warfare is already rippling across the land. The dam lakes in Syria are feeling the pinch, their water levels dropping like a rock. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's causing a power problem. Reduced water levels mean less electricity production, which translates to dimmer lights and slower fans in homes across the region. And it's not just electricity, agriculture is taking a hit too. With the river's water receding, the fertile land along its banks is drying up like a raisin in the sun. Crops are thirstier than ever, and farmers are left with a heartbreaking choice: watch their livelihoods wither away or somehow find a new source of water. But the cruelest blow of all falls on the people living along the Euphrates. Access to clean drinking water, something most of us take for granted, is now a daily struggle. This water crisis is no longer just a regional inconvenience, it's a full-blown humanitarian crisis, with the lives of approximately 9 million Syrians hanging in the balance. The alarming and swift drying of the historic Euphrates River has ignited serious concerns among geological scientists and experts, including Michio Kaku. They are both puzzled and deeply worried about the root causes of this distressing crisis. The United Nations has also issued a cautionary note indicating that the Mediterranean region will face increasingly severe heat waves, with Syria being one of the most vulnerable nations to these climate risks. This ongoing cycle of climatic challenges is taking a toll on Lake Assad, further exacerbating the situation. Considering these critical factors, it's abundantly clear that the Euphrates River is heading down a perilous path. Urgent and decisive action is imperative to avert a potential disaster in this region. But as if things couldn't get any stranger, with the Euphrates River dwindling away, it's as if it's revealing secrets long buried beneath its ancient waters. First, it was the sudden emergence of mysterious tunnels beneath the river's once mighty flow. These weren't your ordinary tunnels. They were rumoured to lead to the very dungeons where the fallen angels, those enigmatic figures from biblical lore, were said to be held captive. According to ancient prophecy, as the Euphrates dried up, these angels would be set free to unleash havoc, wiping out a chilling 1/3 of humanity. And those eerie, unexplained noises echoing from these tunnels only add to the spine-tingling mystery. But that was just the beginning, because the story takes an even more mind-boggling turn. Archaeologists, in a twist of fate, have unearthed what appears to be the long-lost tomb of the legendary hero Gilgamesh. For those not steeped in ancient lore, Gilgamesh was no ordinary figure. His heroic exploits were the stuff of legends, but his tomb had remained an elusive enigma, never to be found. This discovery, tucked away in present-day Iraq, upends centuries of speculation and confirms that the Epic of Gilgamesh wasn't just a fantastical yarn, but a living, breathing chapter of human history. Now you might be thinking, what does all this have to do with the Euphrates River drying up? Well, that's where it gets truly intriguing. The river's unexplained decline has left folks with limited plausible explanations, and some are connecting these dots with the biblical book of Revelation. Surprisingly, for many, this unfolding saga doesn't come as a shock. They see it as a fulfillment of ancient prophecies etched in the sacred text. And it's this realization that sends shivers down their spines. Could the apocalyptic scenarios foretold in the book of Revelation be playing out right before their very eyes? It's a topic that's sparking fervent debate and profound contemplation. Is it all part of a cosmic plan, or are there earthly forces at play? Kaku's warnings, while unsettling, only add another layer to this complex puzzle. So, what's your take on these perplexing events? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more mind-bending videos like this. Thanks for watching.